Welcome to the Conscious Kinky Podcast, where we explore sexuality, connection, and power through awareness and intentional choice.
At the Kink Collective, we help people reframe their relationship with sexuality, build deeper connections, and become safe spaces in the world.
Each episode invites reflection, not performance.
And the conversation continues inside Conscious Conversations, our live community space. Welcome to the conversation. Welcome to the Conscious Kinky Podcast.
Hi, I'm Joshua.
And I'm Kat. This podcast exists because so many people confuse being valued with being impressive, believing that they must perform or prove or provide in order to belong.
At the Kink Collective, our work is simple and intentional. We help people notice where self-worth gets outsourced to approval, usefulness, or competence, and how that quietly shapes power dynamics.
Each week we slow things down. We explore kink, leather, and intimacy, not as costumes or credentials, but as mirrors, reflecting how we relate to worth, visibility, and identity.
Today's episode continues month 4, Power, Boundaries, and Self-Worth. This week we're stepping into the shadow, the tension between self-worth and performance. This episode introduces 8 reflection questions. The first 4 explore how worth became conditional. The second 4 invite you to practice being seen without proving.
You don't need to fix anything today. Just notice what shows up. Ready to start?
Let's begin.
Let's go.
So, performance isn't a flaw, it's a strategy. Most people learned early that being helpful, impressive, or agreeable kept them safe, emotionally or socially.
The problem isn't performance itself. The problem is when performance becomes the price of connection. When love, safety, or belonging feel conditional, we adapt, often without realizing it.
Kink doesn't create these patterns, it reveals them. Who we become under desire, under pressure, or power often mirrors who we learn to be to survive.
So this episode is about identifying where self-worth got tangled with effort and what it looks like to loosen that grip.
So let's jump into the first set of questions.
All right.
Before we start, consider this. Give yourself 3 minutes for each question, and then revisit the questions in a day or two to flesh them out even further.
Pen and paper, write it down. It makes it... It's much better.
It's much more fruitful. Like, you get to really dive into and dissect the meat and potatoes of what we're answering, how we got here.
Yeah. So these first 4 questions help surface where performance is still driving your sense of worth. So question 1. Where do I confuse being valued with being useful, attractive, or impressive? Where does that appreciation feel tied to output rather than presence?
Don't forget to hit pause in between these questions so you can take time to think about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me check to make sure we're recording. Yes, we are.
Awesome. All right.
What happened is yesterday, or the day before yesterday, we were recording. And I said, shit, I hope I hit record at the end of it. And I played with Mama and said, oh no, I forgot to hit record. And she looked at me and we chuckled. I just wanted to make sure that shit wasn't happening now. Hey, it's just the 2 of us, man. So where do I confuse being valued with being useful, attractive, or impressive?
This question to me is the whole thing behind this question is the difference, that we talk about the difference between being a human being and being a human doing, right? Like that my only value comes from what I can do for you or for whoever, or in this case, if I'm useful, attractive, impressive, or any kind of output, right? Rather than knowing that I have value just because I am, just because I exist.
Yeah.
And you've had some struggle with that.
Yeah, I think
I've heard you talk about that.
I was talking about this yesterday in this men's group I was in, that men are commoditized for their bodies, for however much you can do physically is your worth. That's what we're conditioned from young, right? So imagine if a person is not able-bodied, imagine how that impacts their sense of self-worth or self-value, because they're not able to reach the expectations of what society's telling them. And it's fucked up because that's a belief system that was held until it was unlearned, right? So all the weight that goes with it, it's sad because a person shouldn't be worth only what they can do physically or by the level of attraction or a skill set. It's like we're more than skills. We're more than what we can do, right? We have an innate value as human beings,
Right.
And for perspectives and the lived experiences that we've had and the suffering that I've experienced is unique to me too. That also makes me valued.
Right. But I had it too. I can go right back to where it started. I think we're going to come up in these questions on that. Once you get it in your head that you have to do a certain amount or produce a certain amount or lift or carry whatever in order to have value, it's a hard thing to unlearn. A lot of this process is about unlearning.
Yeah, I'm only as good as what I can carry.
Yeah.
Right, I'm only as good as what I can harvest. I'm only as good as what I can go out there and earn.
In my case, it was as much as I could caretake. My value came from caretaking.
Oh, I guess that's a great way to look at it. Where did your initial projected sense of self-value come from?
Yeah.
Right, caretaking for me, it was the manual labor.
Yeah.
Where does appreciation feel tied to output rather than presence? I think the appreciation is tied to the outcome,
Yeah.
right, to what's provided. And in some cases, I get it, right? It's like there's a role and responsibility of providing, of being of value. Because that's the other thing that I've come across recently is everyone equal? Yes and no, right? Because I think, and this is new for me, is I think we're innately equal on value when it comes to soul and existence, right? A life is a life. What a person contributes to society, I think, is different. And I don't think that's equal. Because some people that I've witnessed, blood, sweat, and tears, they're out there self-improving. They're out there bringing more value to the spaces that they inhabit by knowledge, by wisdom, by experience, in some case by physical stature, and others by emotional or mental or spiritual. Right? It's like they've worked on ways to bring peace and harmony, understanding and wisdom to the spaces they enter versus taking away, versus becoming a detriment, versus being an unsafe person.
But that has in it, your value is, your worth is your value based on who you are, right? What you're bringing. If you've accumulated wisdom or you've learned things and you bring that to the spaces where you go or whatever, which is different than just having value because you can show up and push a broom, right? Because you can show up and physically do something.
As I'm sharing, I'm realizing that it's negating the person who doesn't bring anything. However, there was a homeless man on the train once, and he was in his maybe 30s. A black gentleman coming through the train asking for money, and there was another gentleman, Middle Eastern, halfway through, and we were just pulling up to 125th, and the Middle Eastern guy asked the homeless guy, "Are you Muslim?" And the guy goes, "Yes," and he goes, "Well, shame on you for being on here begging." And it went into this whole religion thing about being able-bodied and like being able to be out there and do. They got into this conflict. And the Middle Eastern guy was about to get violent with him because he was angry. He was like, "You're embarrassing Muslims by not, you're able-bodied, look at you. And you're not out," like it was really intense.
Yeah.
And I stepped up and I spoke to the gentleman. I said, "Hey, sometimes people are here to remind us how far we've come." And the guy was dying. He had been diagnosed with cancer. He was dying and he was still working. That's why he was upset. I remember that now. And I told him that, and the guy said, he stopped. And he thanked me for it. He goes, he was really upset that he's living while this other person is just existing. And when I told him that this guy's here to remind us how far we've come, that's also a value. And that could be a big value for someone who needs that motivation to say, I'm doing okay. So maybe I retract what I said. Maybe we just have different values in different ways, and sometimes they're just not pretty.
That's fair.
Wow. Question 2. What part of me feels unworthy when I stop performing? Who shows up when you rest, pause, or say, I don't know?
This one's hard for me. This is my connection of myself as like output for value came from when I was young. My mom passed away when I was 11, and my dad right away let me know that I needed to take care. I was the oldest of 2 girls. I was 11. My sister was 10. She had just turned 10. And then there was my dad, and what I got told was that I needed to take care of them. So right away, at that age, I made breakfast for us every morning. I made my father's lunch. I made our lunches to go to school. I took care of us when we came home. I did everything. And it seems unfair. I mean, the truth is it also gave me a way to deal with my grief that I didn't have. So it gave me something to pour my energy into, taking care of my dad and my sister. But it really did hammer home this message that my value comes from my ability to take care of people. And it's hard for me to even relate to it as performing because it's so much a part of who I am now at this point in my life, that I do struggle though with the who shows up when you rest, pause, like we were talking in the last episode about my resting or my being able to take a nap when I'm tired and how hard that is for me sometimes. It's like,
I show up and I say, go to bed. Turn off your phone. Turn off your phone.
Yeah. And so it's been a journey to be able to rest, to pause, and to say, I don't know. And to still feel like I have value, and to still feel like it's okay for me to do that.
What I appreciate is you still caretake. From the moment we walk in, you're on it. However, you've learned to start putting it down and to let other people take care of themselves, and to let other people take care of, which is beautiful because I don't want you to be doing that forever. Maybe just for me, but as you were sharing, I was like, we need a little house slave that can do everything, so Mama can rest.
Yeah.
So
that'd be
Mama
awesome.
can teach them how to cook, or even better, if you come already with cooking pre-installed, come see us.
That'd be amazing.
What part of me feels unworthy when I stop performing? I don't think it's about when I stop performing. I think it's when I don't yield results. I think that part feels unworthy when I'm not yielding results. It's like I feel like I've wasted time. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I feel ashamed. Like, how could anyone lean on me for leadership because the results aren't always showing up. And I think that's the issue too, is like sometimes there'll be a stretch of no results, or at least what feels like no results.
Right, because sometimes we're sowing, right? It's sometimes when it's a time to sow, it's a time to plant, it's a time to put the seeds in the ground, and then we don't get to see anything come up right away. And those are hard times.
Like last night, we met someone who shared with you, and they shared with me when I got there how I changed their lives a decade ago.
Right.
And it was really intense to hear his story. And it was beautiful what he shared, and it was like mind-opening, affirming, validating that something I did 10 years ago. And the message hasn't changed either. What he shared with me is like, the message hasn't changed. Ultimately, is like, be you. People before kink was before people before kink. Like, all right, back onto my answer. Who shows up when I do rest, when I pause to say I don't know? Everyone, all of you guys are okay with me needing to step aside and let you guys lead.
Yeah.
So the people closest to me show up. Even people I don't know show up sometimes. And I think it's because of what we've shared in our own ways.
Yeah. That's interesting because I think I read that question as who shows up, meaning who inside of you shows up when you rest, pause, or say, I don't know, not
Oh, shit.
who else in the outside world. I think
Who
that's
shows up when you rest, pause, and say, I don't know? I'm okay with that.
Good.
I'm okay with that. It's about yielding results that I get worried about at this point.
Yeah.
The unlearning process of performance, that was a while ago. I think I stopped caring when, it was like 20 something years ago, when I was working for the government, and I would put in a lot of effort, and they would just promote the next white guy. And I don't mean to bring race into this as a crutch, but when working for the government, race was a big issue. And while I look white to people, my last name beat me to the door every time. And then I stopped performing because I was looking to get those promotions. I was looking to move up the ranks, and it wasn't happening. And so then I really stopped. But that wasn't a self-worth thing. It was like an invisibility thing.
Yeah. I can see that.
Right. I think I've had the fortune of feeling confident in what I bring to a space for a while now, for a long time. Still, nonetheless, it's like giving credit where credit is due. I wish I would have seen that in my 20s, because I didn't unlearn that shit until my 30s. Let's jump on to question 3.
All right.
What belief about my worth did I inherit that no longer fits who I am today? Whose voice shaped that belief? Family, culture, community, authority?
I don't know. I think that the whole caretaking piece is really the big piece for me in terms of my worth. It wasn't that I got told that I had to do those things in order to be deserving or anything, but it just got so intrinsically tied to my sense of value, to my sense of my personal sense of self-worth, that I be good at it and that I take care of. You know, everything was so life and death at that age, right? You know, my mother had just died. I was 11 years old, contemplating things like, you know, end of life, like wondering what death was like, worried that my dad would die and I'd be an orphan, like heavy things that you wish most 11-year-old kids don't have to spend time thinking about. But this thing about being able to take care of them and ultimately taking care of it got crazy at one point. I mean, it got into full-blown codependency at a certain point in my early 20s where I just thought I was taking care of everybody and everything in the entire universe. It was a little obnoxious, but I managed to get over it. But, it was my dad's voice, right? It was my dad's voice very specifically.
That's tough. Hearing you say, thinking from the age of 11, if my dad died, I'd be an orphan. I've never heard you say that.
Yeah.
Right? And it makes me think of single parent children out there who have lost a parent, like how that may ring true for them too, that fear, that awareness, and it's like carrying that every day.
Yeah.
Woo. Wow. What belief about my worth did I inherit that no longer fits who I am today? I think community acceptance, like being accepted by society as a whole. If I'm not accepted, I'm not of value. Right, with the whole cancel culture shit that happened. Realizing that my value isn't laid upon the people who aren't perfect themselves. Right, it's like society crucified Jesus, right, the perfect man, and here I am worried about how they're judging me. It's like they judged and killed a man who walked in alignment with purpose, granted 2,000 something years ago, but it's still a society that judges. It's like, how can you judge me? How can you put a value on me if you don't practice or walk the same principles? And through that process, it was like, I think culture, the need to be accepted or the need to be valued by larger society was something I inherited. Right? It's like you have to be liked. You have to not be abrasive against people, and don't cause any waves. And it's like, have you seen my story for the last something years?
I was going to say, you not make waves.
I think family, culture, community, I think it all shaped it to fit in, don't cause any waves. But I can only remember causing waves as long as I remember. So my worth, what belief about my worth did I inherit that no longer fits who I am? That I have to be valued by society as a whole, accepted. But even then, it's like, maybe the word is liked. Right? Don't be disliked by society. And I think I still navigate with that, right? I think, but the question is that no longer fits who I am today. What belief about my worth did I inherit that no longer fits who I am today? Because I've not sought approval from society either.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's just give credit where credit's due.
You can see that.
So question 4, when did I first learn I had to earn love, safety, or belonging? Notice the age, notice the environment, notice the adaptation.
It's funny because I've already said this issue with my dad telling me that I needed to take care of him and my sister I was 11 years old. I was in my house. I mean, I can tell you I remember the conversation, like I have a visual memory of the conversation. But I don't know that I learned it because I needed to do it to earn safety or love or belonging, but it just got tied right intrinsically to my sense of value, to my sense of value as a person. Like I could be valuable, and valuable was my worth, and it was my ticket to being loved and to being safe and to belonging, but those are secondary to the part about it being my value.
I'm sitting here with that phrase, I'm trying to think of that, what it would feel like to believe that my only purpose here is to show you how far you've come. Like, that's tough. But I don't think that that's generally an awareness of my role, my value is like, that's tough.
When you were talking the earlier instance about the homeless guy?
Yeah, if like there's a realization that my sense of worth is only here to show you how far you've come, right? That's like, that's tough.
I think we can choose to walk a different path.
Oh, absolutely.
If we want to.
With the awareness of.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start using that. Oh, that's a tough one. Woo, because whoever sat with me knows that I like to use intense language for comparison and for contrast. It's like this one is intense. When did I first learn I had to earn love, safety, or belonging? I think that's what was taught to me. Be valuable wherever you go. And in a sense, that's earning love and safety and belonging because you serve a purpose. Like it's like serve a purpose. Bring more to the table than you take.
But there's nothing wrong with that, right? I had a friend who used to say people treat life either like a potluck or a buffet, right? People either show up with what they can bring and contribute, or people show up looking for what they can take. And I don't think that's a bad distinction to make. I don't think that's a bad thing. I do see an inherent value in being the kind of person that shows up with what can I contribute.
Now, when I read this, it makes me think of survival mode.
Yeah.
Right? For the person who couldn't be safe at home and they had to earn love by deeds, by certain behaviors, by certain actions, or safety or belonging. I'm thankful I don't have a deep relation with that lived experience. I do know it exists. And I know it exists for a lot of people in my life that I've come across either intimately or just in passing in short conversations, but from youth, from childhood.
Yeah.
Like you shared about grieving and having to step into the responsible role as an 11-year-old, right? And it was like to earn love, to earn safety, and to earn belonging from what you've shared was really intense. So my relationship with this question isn't the same as a lot of other folks. And what I'll do is I'll encourage you to, if this question pulls on those strings, dig into it and really process this question. Because there's a lot of information here and opportunities to put things down that no longer serve.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh no, I lost my connection. So let's jump on to here. So with that, while I find my place in the segments, what I want to do is read a couple of things to you. God damn it. All right. So performance isn't a flaw, it's a strategy. Most people learned early on that being helpful, impressive, or agreeable kept them safe, emotionally or socially. The problem isn't performance itself. The problem is when performance becomes the price of connection. When love, safety, or belonging feel conditional, we adapt, often without realizing it. Kink doesn't create these patterns, it reveals them. Who we become under desire, pressure, or power exchange often mirrors who we learn to be to survive. This episode is about identifying where self-worth got tangled with effort and what it looks like to loosen that grip. So before we jump into... Oh, shit. So just so you know, we do have a teleprompter. And it disconnected for us. So I'm going to pause this and I'm going to have Natalie come back and edit that. Shadow work doesn't mean broken. It means unexamined.
Once we see how performance developed, the next step isn't rejection, it's integration. These next 4 questions will invite you to practice worth without proving.
So let's jump into these questions. Again, give each question 3 minutes. Pause the video, give each question 3 minutes, and then come back in a few days to revisit. Question number 5. What would I stop doing if I believed I was inherently worthy? What effort feels compulsive rather than chosen?
I don't know if I do anything compulsively anymore. Although I'll beg to have that pointed out to me if I'm missing it. I believe I'm inherently worthy. And the caretaking has become an integral part of who I am. I think it's just my task is to watch that I don't push past my limits when I'm doing things that look like caretaking. Like, you know, when we need a meal, when we need when we need the things that we need to like run the house and be around, it's like, I can do those things, but if I need to rest, if I genuinely, like if I need to do something to take care of myself, then I have to balance that with the caretaking. I can't caretake to my detriment. And that's still something I wrestle with.
For myself, I would stop doubting myself. What would I do if I stop doing it if I believed I was inherently worthy? I think I would stop asking for permission. I think I would stop bending to fear, and I would reach out. I would reach out to folks.
Ask for the things you want.
Ask for the things I want.
Yeah. Yeah, you've talked about that. What would I ask? So question number 6, what would I ask for more directly? Not through hints, not through overfunctioning, through clarity.
It's funny, as I hear this question, what I notice I do is I ask you guys for things through questions.
Yes.
Hey, are you hungry?
Yeah. We all know.
Hey, you thirsty? Hey, do you want to watch a movie?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like...
That's Joshua is hungry. Joshua would like to watch a movie.
And I guess there's something in that, right? Do I feel like I guess I don't feel like I could ask for things directly like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like...
It's funny, the thing that I would ask for more directly, there's just one thing I would ask for more directly, and that's cuddle time. Sometimes I just want to be held, and I don't know why I feel like I have to wait until everything else in the world is checked off of a list to be able to ask for that or have that. Right? It's like sometimes I just want to like get in bed and just snuggle or lay on, and so anywhere, just and snuggle and just be held.
So as I'm thinking about it, like the things I don't ask from you guys directly, it's like, why don't I do that? Like, why can't I say, Mama, can you make me something to eat? Or Natalie, can you give me something to drink?
Yeah.
And because sometimes it feels like there'd be an inconvenience for doing it. Right? I don't want to inconvenience you. So it's like, is inconveniencing you for me worth it?
But what's so funny is, Mama, are you hungry? Says to me, Mama, I'm hungry. Could you make me something to eat? It translates.
Yeah, I mean, that's through 7 years of conditioning. Right? And it's like a baby crying. It's, I got to fart, got gas, you got to feed him, we got to sleep, right? It's like, yeah.
It's pretty funny.
So I begged I wonder, why am I not comfortable enough just to straight up ask?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't ask at all.
No. Where do I hide behind competence or strength instead of being real? What would it risk to let that guard down? It's asking for what I want. Sometimes I feel like I'm not qualified or worth it or have earned it. And I don't know where that comes from.
Yeah.
What do I hide behind? Where do I hide? And also, it's like, these questions are tough because these are a lot of things I'm trying to unlearn.
Right. I feel like I have a lot of competence and strength in a lot of areas, and what I hide behind some of that stuff instead of the being real is like when I feel weak and afraid, but I feel like I can't show it. I mean, I think I've done better. Like, you see it, I show you. But I have this fear that, like, I don't know, like something will be taken away from me or whatever if I let the world see that I feel scared and weak or small or anything other than competent and strong.
Yeah.
So it would risk being rejected. I would be risking being laughed at or being made fun of. There's a lot of that in my history, in my childhood history, a lot of like bullying and being made fun of and stuff. So,
as you're sharing that, it makes me think of my 13th birthday party, or whatever birthday party, when no one showed up. It's like, where do I hide behind competence or strength instead of being real? Like, the strength is I don't need a party.
right.
Right? And the risk, what would it risk to let that guard down, is to say I do enjoy celebrations. The risk I feel is no one would show up.
Right.
right? That no one would want to celebrate my existence.
Yes, we do.
Where do I hide behind confidence? And that strength of not needing
Yeah.
to be celebrated or acknowledged.
Yeah.
And I think that
Celebrations I have trouble with, period.
that comes from feeling invisible
Yeah.
and feeling not acknowledged for who I am or what I've done. It's like I don't want to risk affirming that. So you know what? We're gonna have a birthday party next year.
Awesome. All right. How can I practice being seen without performing this week? Choose one small moment of presence over polish. Well, we're getting ready to go on a working vacation. And I'm going to practice napping whenever I want to. I'm going to practice that resting thing and then the not caretaking.
Oh no.
Well, no, I'm going to be cooking because we said.
No, I'm kidding. Mom.
But to give myself permission to just rest some too, in between the things that we need to do.
How can I practice being seen without performing this week? Oh,
Yes.
Master Joshua. How can I practice being seen without performing this week? Choose one small moment of presence over polish. I think by listening more. Right? By just allowing a person the space to process, and just by listening, not by having any input. I think a lot of my polish comes from wanting to provide answers and relief. And it's like, maybe you just need to drown. Not in that kind of way, right? But it's like, keep swimming. Like I'm sitting here and I'm watching and I'm supporting just by holding space. And it's like, I don't need to rescue anybody. I don't need to be of service all the time. Maybe the service is the witnessing. And it's like that presence alone, to let a person know they're not alone in that process, whether it's grieving, fear, whatever it is, that I see you. Let's review this week's questions. Self-worth and performance. The first set is about awareness and orientation. Number 1, where do I confuse being valued with being useful, attractive, or impressive?
2, what part of me feels unworthy when I stop performing?
Question number 3, what belief about my worth did I inherit that no longer fits who I am today?
And question 4, when did I first learn that I had to earn love, safety, or belonging?
Set 2 is about deeper introspection and integration. Question 1, what would I stop doing if I believed I was inherently worthy?
2, what would I ask for more directly?
3, where do I hide behind competence or strength instead of being real?
And 4, how can I practice being seen without performing this week? If there's one question that feels a little tender, that's usually where the most freedom is going to come from.
Dive into it, that's for sure.
Yeah. So self-worth doesn't grow through effort. It grows through permission. Permission to exist without auditioning.
Transformation through kink isn't about intensity or endurance. It's about seeing yourself clearly when the mask drops and staying present anyway.
These questions will be explored live inside Conscious Conversations on the Tuesday night space where we practice being real and not impressive.
You don't need to stop being capable. You just don't need to use it as proof of worth.
Thanks for listening to the Conscious Kinky Podcast. New episodes drop every Friday.
And the conversation continues inside Conscious Conversations every Tuesday night.
Until next time, remember, you're not what you produce. You are how you relate.
We'll see you in the conversation. Good job, Mama.